What's going on, y'all? Today we got could Wilt Chamberlain have dominated SHAQ? You know, we just reacted to the first time reacting to Wilt Chamberlain. You know what I'm saying? That's probably gonna be at the end of this. Stay tuned. But let's get into it, man. Let's find out some more about Wilt Chamberlain and SHAQ.
LSU sophomore
And their careers,
Shaquille O'Neal
actually.
was already being heralded as one of the top.
We see everything. Get in here.
Court is now in session.
Shaquille and I is like comparing me with Clark Gable. In this case, I'm Clark Gable and he's me. He's a big, strong, powerful guy who runs over top of people. He could be taught to play a whole lot better.
I want to see what his shooting game is like, though, by myself. I've seen him dunk a lot of balls down, but can he maneuver and really get shots free when he's going up by 2 men?
He seems to have problems in the last quarter.
I would make him have to run up and down the court all day.
I would like, though, to have had a chance to play against someone like him, Clyde, because I always like the big guys.
Any pro worth his eye teeth is going to be gunning for the shots.
He plays an entirely different type of basketball game. That he uses his physicality, and he's a big, strong young man, and that works well in today's game. If he was facing me, not so good. I mean, I'm a guy bench pressing around 600 pounds when I was at my best.
600 pounds?
Yeah, right.
600 pounds.
I think you're exaggerating. You're out of your mind.
There's a thing called innate strength. That's strength from within.
600? 600, y'all? 600? Come on, man. I can't believe that. I can't. My boy SHAQ couldn't even lift the 400 off his chest. You know? I don't know, Will. I don't know. Because you said you had a 50 edge vert. I checked out the highlights yesterday. You was jumping like 2 feet off the ground, my brother. Word. Like, someone let me know, man.
Wilt would take Shaquille O'Neal and move him around like he was a rag doll.
He would do a tricep extension that like
the big guys, the strongest guys, would do, let's say, 120 pounds, let's say, tricep extension, pulling down, right? He would come and he would do 150, 170 pounds, Wilt Chamberlain. That's how strong he was. So I always felt like when people said, well, this guy is shooting more baskets than anyone else, I said, well, because you stay away from him. He was so powerful with his elbows and everything. When he grounded, when he saw that where to put the ball, you wouldn't want to be in his way. It's dangerous.
They always said he was by far the strongest person who's ever played the NBA.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember that he lifted me up like with one arm like nothing.
It's not possible for any human being to do the kinds of things that he was able to do.
Alright.
Alright,
they show. Alright, hold on.
But he wasn't at the top of the circle, but he was about 3 steps behind it on a free throw, and he ran to the free throw line, took off and dunked the ball. And I actually saw this.
How would you defend against yourself?
I wouldn't. I would just go home. I would fake an injury or something.
Well, you're not a very nice guy.
I tell you what, I was a very nice guy.
You were?
Yeah, unfortunately, I was too nice. I have some close friends of mine who told me a number of times, Wilt, go up there and break Bill Russell's hand. You know, stop being so nice to these guys. You can destroy them. And because I was maybe a nice guy, I shot the fadeaway and didn't do some of the things that, like Shaquille O'Neal's now doing.
Shaquille O'Neal was so powerful on that move that Dudley is now joined with Shaq and threw the ball in his direction.
Oh, so he was upset. He thought Shaq pushed him after the play and knocked him down.
I'm saying as they call fouls, though, today, you know, Shaq gets away with what I would consider murder.
So they let him go.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that when you dip your shoulder and you run over top of a guy and the foul's called on the guy laying on the floor, you know, you're getting away with something.
I can't tell you how many times I watched him go up for a dunk and someone would put their hand within the cylinder trying to block a shot, and Wilt would let up because he knew he could break the man's arm. He was too nice a man.
If you look at his records and the records that he set, I always thought it was like watching him in slow motion.
Yeah, that shit is dangerous.
You were by far the biggest and strongest man in the league, and that you did not have a killer instinct. I don't mean that competitively, but I mean you could have hurt guys. You could have slammed guys to the floor. You could have looked to pick fights. You didn't do that.
That was one of the saving things about playing against the guy who did physically imposing, is that I cannot recall even hearing about an incident where he tried to hurt anybody. And you know,
that's good and bad.
You can rack him up, and you know that he's not going to hurt you.
Did you need more killer instinct?
Well, you know, it could be said. It could be said. But also remember, when you're my size, I want to also show them I was skillful. I wasn't out there to really try to show that I could just knock people over and whatever.
And you didn't want to just play into the image of brute strength.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I want to play basketball as the way Naismith really invented the game to be played.
Actually, it was better than he envisioned.
Probably right.
I saw him one time in LA, and this is no lie. We had a restaurant. I'm here. Wilt's right there. No hi, no you suck, no anything.
Didn't acknowledge you at all.
No, it's a pecking order thing. It's a respect thing. I took it to myself and said, okay, he don't know who I am yet. The greats don't recognize me yet. I must not be great. And if you don't think I'm great, I got work to do.
Superstar who dominated basketball in the 1960s and 70s was found dead today at his home in Los Angeles. Chamberlain was 63.
4 games into the season, Shaq's coming off the floor, and I stop him before he gets to the bench. I said, what's the greatest thing Wilt Chamberlain ever did?
Wilt averaged 50 in one season. He did.
That's different.
No, that's not it. What did he do? He played every single minute of every game during the course of the season.
Whoa.
I said, could you do that? He said, oh, if he could do that, I could do that. So I started playing him 48 minutes a night. 7 or 8 games into this, John Sally says, you know, Shaq came to me and he said, maybe you could rest him a little bit tonight. So I started to monitor his minutes a little bit, but that was the year Shaq was an MVP and he had 30 points a game, and he really led us.
His MVP year in 2000, look at this. He led the league in scoring with 30. He led the league in rebounding with 14. He also chipped in with 4 assists a game, which was his career high. He also led the league by making 57% of his shots unguardable. That's just like too good. And that was the only MVP one. But you want to talk about agile at 330? I think Shaq would have terrorized Wilt. I do.
When it comes to basketball conversations, I'm very arrogant. I only want to hear my name. So when they say who's the most dominant player ever, I want them to say my name. I don't want them to be like, maybe Wilt, maybe Shaq. So,
does that really bother you?
Yeah, it does.
You better than Wilt?
Yeah, I'm better than Wilt. I'll bust Wilt ass.
We got next.
85-81.
Malone trying to get it to O'Neal, who gets it back.
All right, Wilt Chamberlain.
I'd accept your challenge.
But you can't tell me how long, though, can you? The man can only wait so long.
Customato felt as if I had the properties to do well in the boxing game.
He was throwing punches with force. I felt that he has that stinging jab, and he's such an athlete. Incredible.
You could have been the best decathlete in the world.
I think I had the ingredients. I think I had the properties.
Words like most dominant, you gotta earn that.
Wilt owns over 90 records, and he hasn't played in the last 40 years.
Nah, this is a nice little, you know what I'm saying, y'all? I was really locked in just now. Y'all see, I ain't look at the camera too many times, none of that. I was really just locked in. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this reaction, man. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. We'll do more like this, you know. Make sure you click on the last reaction, of course. Good for your health. Turn on post notifications. Links in the description, man. And I'm out of here.